choke lever is going to go on right there. Fits right on that loop there. This one here, the piece, it'll slide on it right there. And I guess that's what, yeah, that's your kill switch. It'll ground it. So it's got a little slot that'll fit this part of the carbon, which will ground it. So you go and you pull this out a little bit. I'm going to get my gloves on in a minute. I should have had them on, but I didn't. Now that'll hook there. You got to keep note of all this. This is going to hook right here. Okay? And this will hook here. And the reason why I say keep note is because these things, they, you know, once you take them apart, if you don't take pictures or notes, it's easy to forget. Really easy to forget. Okay, so let's see what we have. You can remove your air box. There you go. You got your two nuts right here from them. Grab them so you don't lose them. Put them aside with it. Alright, you got two fuel lines. You're going to have to keep track of where these fuel lines go as well, because when you put it back together, if you mix the fuel lines up, it's not going to run. So let's just see where we're at with the fuel lines. The second fuel line off of this primer bulb, it's got two inlets, an inlet and an outlet. The second one off of it has went through to the bottom here, and it just started to pick fuel up, so it's making me wonder if there's something going on with the carburetor, being it's been moved around now and it's finally pumping. So we're going to take it apart and just clean it since we're this far in. So your bottom line feeds into this side. The top line goes down into the tank. Then you have a line coming out of the tank that goes over to this side. So you've got to keep track of all that when you do this. So we're going to go ahead and gently try to get these off. There we go. And it's spraying bad fuel. There we are. So it's pressurizing now because of the carburetor. I think this thing's got either some brittle gaskets or it had a stuck needle or something, but I definitely want to check it out. And the gas that's coming out of this is horrible too. So it's a good idea right now to go ahead and actually just pull this and clean it. So there we go. Now if you can see this, let me go ahead and get a container, just a little container to catch some fuel. We're going to go ahead and see if this thing's priming now. I still believe that this thing has probably got a clogged up, or carburetor. Let's go ahead and pull this out real quick. But if you prime this now, you're probably going to get some gas coming out. See? It's finally shooting like it should. The gas in there is very old. It's very bad. Very shellac smell to it. So we're going to take this apart and clean it up. Sometimes you need to take a screwdriver and just pop this off. A flat will work. Just gently, push around the edges, and once you break the seal, it'll pop off. Because you don't want to bust your fuel lines up. That's another real pain. Because then once you start cutting a fuel line, if it splits it at the end, it'll keep splitting back. And then you'll end up with a fuel line replacement on top of a carburetor issue. So what I do is I usually will take this, just give it a nice little push, just gently. There we go. And boom, pops off. So our carburetor is now off, and the carburetor on this saw is, let's see, is this a Zama or a Walbro, or is this just a, looks like Husqvarna might have actually just went to the generic carbs too, because this says your ID marks will usually be on the carb. Oh, Zama right here. even though it is made in China. It is a Zama. It's a C1T. So if you need to order parts, you're going to look on here. Zama C1T. And it should have some numbers maybe on the back side, unless that is the only numbers it has, which the older ones actually would have like C1U-K42, which would tell you which gaskets and models and stuff you need. But this one looks to me like it's just Zama C1T. Yep, Zama C1T. Now that says 279, 276 on there, right here as well. I don't know if you guys can see this, but Zama C1T. So you know it's a C1T series carburetor. Now we just have to figure out, we just got to go ahead and figure out basically what it, you know, what's going on with it. This thing should be pumping gas now with no problem. As it is, you can see it coming right out of there. So you know it's not the diaphragm. I mean, it's not your primer bulb, and it's not your, you know, the tank filter or anything like that. It's an issue within the carburetor. So we're going to take it apart and clean it. You got high and low adjustments on here as well. We're going to take it all apart, clean it up, check the gaskets out and everything, and I'll shoot another video with that. And from there, we'll figure out what's going on with it and see if we need to order a rebuild kit for it or what. Alright? Again, this is John with Proficient Mower and Small Engine Repair. I also work on JustAnswer.com in the small engine area under the username BriggsFan. It's BRIGGS-FAN. And just starting to shoot a little bit of these videos for my business, and also to help customers get an idea of what to do and help them with either dismantling, repairing, replacing parts, things like that. Alright, so in the next video, we'll definitely go ahead and crack this open, clean it up and everything, and take a look at it and see if it needs gaskets or what. Alright, thank you.